keep the pressure on for the time that remains here in this first half in their quest to pull one back and begin a fight back. Tshimba. Wayward with the ball into midfield. The referee getting in the way for just a moment ahead of Otieno then. There he is under a bit of pressure. And in the end, the pressure telling from a Zambian point of view as they went back and are so quick to get numbers on the edge of that box once again. Needed a better ball to unlock that defense, however. Things seriously not going according to plan in the way this match started in the opening 20 for that Zambian bench. Nice touch in the middle of the park to keep it moving. Oshien. Calm. The Kenyans working hard in defense when they need to, but also not in a hurry when they do have the ball here as they go route one. Tanguluma. Kenyans now closing down right from the front, which is a slight change from what we saw earlier where they would allow the Zambians to pass it around inside their own half. Now they are looking to force the Zambians to go route one as early as possible here. Alomba. Eventually does. Oh, that's lovely distribution. Great touch as well. Out on that far side. Great ball from Kalumba, the goalkeeper, to find the teammate out on that far side. That being Kangwanda. Also, the first touch that was quite impressive. The defensive end coming from Okilo. Approaching the last 5 minutes.
You're talking about last 5 minutes, Sizwe, and that's when I think that credit must be given to the Kenyans. They took their chances, and one of which was just a very bad defensive mistake or decision. And that's also a moment where you look back and say, 2 down, this has never been. So the tournament is starting.
Well, pressure here, and a decision right on the edge of the box, just outside the box, in favor, I do suspect, of the Kenyans. So nothing going for Ricky Banda and company as they look to force the issue. Banda here chasing just about everything. Wasn't an impressive touch defensively. It invited the pressure, crashing into just about everything and trying to make things happen is Banda. Kenya would love to finish this off in the Zambian half of the field here over the next few minutes. Just see off the pressure, take that 2-goal cushion into the half-time break. Mentally, it will be a huge victory for them. Now, over ball here, the Zambians will have to work impressively to get this out of their own half. They do, with some nice touches, and well, battle on in the middle of the park, then won by Ochieng. And slowing them down for just a moment. Was that a raised foot? Yes, decision going the way of the Zambians for the foul on Ricky Banda. Certainly is involved in a lot of the physical stuff, is Banda. was tripped up, and then there was a dangerously high foot as well. It came in from Ronnie Onyango. Fortunate not to make contact with the head of Ricky Panda then. Kenya able to deal with the set piece, and well, do they get the throw in as well out on that far side? I do believe the decision is there, so good work then by the Kenyans. Patrick Otieno, it is putting in a proper shift on both ends of the field, considering he is one of the goal scorers. Well, the stop-start affair over the last few minutes will favour Kenya, with the game having little to no rhythm over the last couple of minutes, especially with under 2 going remaining until the end of the first half. Kenya right where they want to be at this late stage of the first 45, on the front foot. They've tried that crossfield ball on a number of occasions and have hit the mark so often. Then it's a lovely first touch. Getting to the byline then is Mwanda. Oh, his first touches have been impressive, especially that last one on the move, then able to take it in stride and get to the byline, forcing yet another corner for the Zambians. Can they pull one back before half time? That is the question for the defending champions here. Well, in, and keeper came. He didn't get there in the end. Zambians looking for another corner, which they will get, this time on the near side. Last touch off a defender. Time into the near post, lacking in quality at a last corner from a Zambian standpoint. Kishima. Kalumba. Only 1 minute added on to the end of the first half. Again, another one of those long balls looking for Gangwanda. Well, you can tell from their body language they are in a hurry. They've won the set piece out on that far side, so quickly the big men move forward here from the right to the left of your picture. Those in the orange and black. Kenya having to earn the 2-goal cushion if they are to keep it going into the half-time break here. Could be the last attack of this first half. Forward in. Again, well met on the near post at the expense of yet another corner for the Zambians. They've had an avalanche of corners here in this first half. They thought they'd had another, and will be frustrated with the score. That could very well have been the last attacking play of this first half. Well, the side from the east rocking the champions from the south here is Kenya. Come up with 2 goals in the first half and defend well enough here to ensure the 2-goal cushion going into the half-time break. Atieno and Otieno, the goal scorers. Zambia tries, they might go down to the front foot, try to create the openings to get the better of Amondi in your picture. try as they might, the Kenyans remain stubborn defensively and are impressive so far as the side that scored the most goals in a single match so far with 45 minutes to go to the COSAFA Cup. It's Zambia 0, Kenya 2 at half-time here at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. So, for the Kenyans here, it's all about precision here. Shots on target, 2 goals, 2 here. Zambia have had a good number of corners, 9 of them in that first half. Kenya have dealt with those corners impressively in defending Omondi. They've also created a few moments of the Zambians here, finding the Kenyans stubborn at the end of a half that certainly belongs to the Kenyans.
Joining me is the COSAFA ambassador, Andile Mbenyani, and this is the man that has bedeviled our pitches when he was always with Chipa. So I'm sure you're happy to see the action here in your area.
Yeah, it is good, you know, because this is the stadium that I used to play at and also like the Ronaldos, they played at this stadium, and it's also the chances for the youngsters who are playing now to experience that.
Interesting you say the Ronaldos. So the youngsters, when they saw the Ronaldos, they felt they can. And now they can see players from different parts of the continent playing here. That motivates them too.
Yeah, it does. Also for the community to watch these players from other countries, which is we have this COSAFA Cup in our region. It's a really good thing for Gqeberha.
And then talking about that, the youngsters, knowing that the schools are closed, that's a big plus, unlike this happening when they are in classes. So they have the whole weekend in particular now tomorrow, where they will be watching more games.
Yeah, that's true, because there will be a game also on Saturday, which is Bafana will be playing at Alzegos Stadium, which is it will be good for the community to come and watch that game. They can also get their tickets as close to the stadium, which is you save. The earlier they go and get their tickets, the better, because I know it's going to be a full house, because I used to play there at Wolfson Stadium. Those people, they love football a lot.
And I'm glad you said Bafana, because they now love them again. Yes. So I'm sure that motivates them to say, here they are in action again at home, in our own backyard.
Yeah, it's good. You have to motivate them, because it's our national team, you know. After the game that they played against Mozambique, which is they drew, they played like a good football. I want to see him playing good football also in Wolfson Stadium in front of this community of Gqeberha.
You know, if often people don't look back with pride, and looking at the COSAFA Cup, it has produced a few quality players that really made big in teams. Besuma being a case in point. I mean, he was spotted right here, so it is having a destiny for most players.
Yeah, it does, because most of the players that are playing here, it's good for them to prepare them for the first team of Bafana, which is they can go and play in the African Cup of Nations. This tournament, it's a good tournament for the youngsters. Also, like to show off their talent, that they are ready to play in a bigger cups.
And most of them are 23 or under,
yes.
And that's also making them feel, well, we can end up playing in South Africa. I'm sure you'll agree with me that 1 or 2 scouts are watching.
Yes. They're watching, because I'm also sitting with other people there on top. Oh. We were checking also, there was maybe 3 or 4 players that are 98, 97. Most of them is 2000, 2003, which is most of the players that are playing here are the youngsters, which is really good. It's really good. They're playing good football.
So you're sitting with some scouts there. What names have they branded around?
I can't say for now. Can't say for now.
Just in closing, looking at the tournament, obviously it's day 2. Any impressions that you can share? Good impressions, obviously.
Yeah, you know, I've been watching from yesterday the way that teams are playing here. They playing good football. There's a lot of players that from the PSL team that they can get from this tournament. Even the game that I was watching now, which is Zambia, there's a lot of good players. You know, they just need something maybe from the coaches that to push themselves. Some of them you can see that they bit nervous because they're still young and the stage is getting bigger, which is good for them to start from here so that they can prepare themselves to in the first team.
Interesting, you're saying most of them are young, but they can knock the ball around. Even when they are 2 goals down, they're still looking composed and wanting to put the ball in the back of the net. Yes,
because if you can also see Zambia, they are wing backs. The way they're going forward, you can see that they're looking for the goal, which is they know that they can do it because after they conceded 2 goals, that's where they felt that we're under pressure now. We have to win the game, which is in this tournament. You want that competition. You want people that they will fight to win this COSAFA Cup.
Talking about we're looking forward to seeing you after this festive break. And when I say festive, obviously for footballers, you know, when the season closes, you go away. And good luck in the new season.
Thank you very much, Max. Yeah.
Well, it is half-time right here at Nelson Mandela, and I'm joined by Mark Fish. Fish, yes, we spoke about this beginning of the game, and now we see a strange situation. Kenya 2 up.
Well, I'm not sure about strange, but I did say we pre-warned the teams from the region, COSAFA, do come here and tend to want to do well. Suppose for us from the southern regions, we'd think it's a bit of a surprise by Kenya being 2-0 up at half-time. It is still only half-time, Muffa. But yeah, fantastic. The Kenyans have been strong in defence, making sure they get behind the ball, good attacking play. So thus far it's been an entertaining half by Kenya, certainly. Zambia, again, you know, they would obviously want to do a little bit better the second half, and you know what we know they are good at, getting the ball wide, getting into 18-yard area, getting their strikers to get onto the ball and header or get goals in the back of the net. But unfortunately, thus far it hasn't worked for them, and it's been a strong and very competitive 45 minutes for Kenya.
Penalty conceded. I think Chinga was very clumsy and could have just charged because he was ahead of his opponent.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, you know. I can say I've probably done that once or twice myself, Mother. But yes, you know, he's obviously miscontrolled the ball, and the striker's got ahead of him, and he's pulled him back, and a definite penalty, and obviously very fortunate, Mother, not to get a red card.
Yeah,
you know,
maybe also because there's no VAR, maybe the referee would have been called to that. But looking at it from the defender's point of view, what do you think he should have done better?
No, obviously, unfortunately, he didn't control the ball well. He put himself in that position, or just clear the ball. But again, well-taken penalty, and I would say a deserved lead, because I think that up until there, they were defending well and making sure that they were competing well for the ball. And, you know, make sure if you put pressure on your opposition, you force them to make errors, you're going to get opportunities like that. And when you get that opportunity, make sure you score them.
Yeah, and Atiano is the man that really took it well, putting it away from the keeper's reach, even if he had gone that way. And that's how you take a penalty.
Yeah, no, a confident penalty, and well taken. And as I said, not a surprise thus far that for some of us it will be a surprise that Zambia is losing 2-0, but a convincing performance thus far, as I said, first 45 minutes.
Before we look at the second goal, just looking at the Kenyans in particular up front when they attack. They're strong, they protect the ball, and they've been bullying the Zambians until the Zambians settled.
Not true. Again, when you can speaking to one or two of us that are sitting and watching the game, I mean, when you can physically compete against a team, then your work rate and your technical ability will come through. And we've seen that in the first half with Kenya. Surprisingly, don't disrespect their technical ability, their passing, their confidence on the ball, but physically competing against Zambia and putting their game off guard makes it a very interesting second half. But again, well done to Kenya thus far for how they've performed and how they've made the game difficult for Zambia to play their natural way of playing.
You're talking about second half. Let's look at the second goal. And that's the second goal that I still believe that the defender again, China, could have done better. The ball was just played in front of him instead of clearing. There we go again. Sleeping defender, just like you guys sleep all the time. Why defenders
you guys,
are
we talking about you guys?
Yes,
Yes, Mafa. But again, I'm going to give the credit to the attacking team. For sure, you got to know there's a player coming behind you. Make sure clear the ball. But again, I think the Kenyan getting down the wing, there's number 16 being able to cross the ball 22 and making sure that they get onto the end of the ball and scoring in the penalty area. So for me, a good attacking play, good pressure put on by Kenyan, forcing the Zambians to make defensive errors.
Also, a lesson to youngsters, and I've picked it up here, and I'm sure you've picked it up too. What happened to the basics of when you're a defender or even a striker? Look over your shoulder, and especially when you're a defender, because once you don't look, you don't know what's coming, stretch your hands, block the opponent. The hands are just dropped all the time.
No, the hands are dropped, and Mafa, the game has changed a lot since we have played, but certainly being more aware of where you are as a striker and as a defender, making sure that knowing where the players in opposition are. So certainly doing a little bit more better, hopefully in defense. But again, I'm going to give credit to the Kenyan team for the way that they put pressure on the Zambian team, their physicality, the ability on the ball, and getting in and behind the Zambian defense, making it difficult for them, and taking the opportunities that have come their way.
You mentioned second half, and I'm putting your head on the block here. Let's look at the second half. Do you think the Zambians, who still, to me, remained composed after conceding, will they bounce back? Because they still have that belief from their play. You can see that.
Certainly, I'm not going to put my head on the block, Mafa, but I'm going to say that we expect the Zambian team to come back and put a lot more pressure and hopefully score 1 or 2 goals to make the game more competitive for them against Kenya.
Okay, Mark, as always, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm sure I'll be seeing you throughout the tournament.
Thank you, Mafa.
Thanks.
So the big surprise as we look forward to the second half here, Kenya, the side invited from the east of the continent, leading the defending champions with a 2-0 scoreline after the first 45 minutes here. It certainly was interesting from a Kenyan standpoint, forcing the error that led to the penalty converted by Atieno. And a surprise, maybe a few out of the stands. There was one more surprise with a lovely pass from Onyango for Ochieng, who set up Atieno for an impressive finish, or Ochieng I should say, for an impressive finish for the second goal. And it's Kenya to ensure that the Zambian flag is not quite flying as high as the Zambians would have hoped at the end of that first half. Certainly a watchable game of football here, entertaining times here, as the Zambians tried to fight back in that first half. 9 corners they had, and they pressed and kept the Kenyan defense nice and honest. For the most part, they were stubborn in defense, the Kenyans. The first side out of the tunnel, then Zambian fans that have turned out have received a bit of a shock to the system, as they hope their side will continue in their intentions to try and fight back. First goal of the second half, crucial. If it's the Zambians that get it, we have a game on, and it will make for an interesting second half here. If it's the Kenyans that get the first goal of the second half, it could very well mean the Zambians get off to a stumbling start
Kenya, take your position
in their attempts to extend their record to 8 Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup wins here. And in your picture, of course, Chinga picked up the yellow card, giving away the penalty early on in the game. Bumbu and company have worked hard in the middle of the park here, trying to unsettle the likes of Onyango here in your picture. The Kenyans, big, strong, physical, able to withstand the physical pressure from the Zambians, and it is the men from the east that will get this game underway. They will attack the goal to the left of your picture, will Kenya. Zambia try and get it right, attacking the right. Worth noting here, no changes to the starting 11 from both coaches here in the opening exchanges of the second half. Kauluma. Certainly are quick to get numbers forward and around that box. Once they get around that final third, the Zambians hoping for a foul just outside of that box. That last attack, referee again positioned well to make the call, did make that all-important call for the penalty. Did the referee from Mauritius, Patrice Milazar. Now, Kenya driving forward, and well, no option really but to shoot outnumbered defensively, but Alumba positioned well to deny that, you know what would have been his second of this match. Good movement from the middle of the park, then lovely pass to find his run. Did well enough to keep that shot on target. And Kenya remain a threat, looking to be the first to score here in the second half. Kanguluma. Oh, that's a reminder for the Zambians. As much as they want to get forward and get onto the front foot, they need to stay aware of a Kenyan side that could hit. As Sigumanda of Zesco is fouled. Well, the Kenyans have been impressive with dealing with the aerial balls into the box from dead ball situations in and around that final third. Monty organizing defensively. The likes of Chinga push forward from defensive positions here for this after ball in towards that near post. Again, the Kenyans are able to deal with it at the expense of a corner. Will be the 10th for the Zambians in this match. They really have been disciplined in a defense of the Kenyans, denying the cross on that occasion. Also loving how the defenders, just outside of your picture, push up when the ball is played back by the Zambians to hold the offside line. Then now on the turn, it's Zambia with the difficult angle here. As they get the first shot in anger. Through Banda, well, to try and roll the defender. Angle was always going to be a testing one, plus the defender's presence next to him, not making life easy. Munda. Chilamina. Kanguluma. And the Zambians looking to go long here through Chinga, looking for the ball to the far side. It's a lovely ball. It's led to another corner, but they've been so spot on with those diagonal balls of the Zambians here. And yeah, they've had no problems in conceding corners and remaining true to the challenge in dealing with a situation such as this. Well-timed challenge coming in then. Corner defended on the near post. So far, it's the Kenyans that have won the aerial duels when they are defending. Look at that, 11 corners to 1 for the Zambians. They certainly have tried to keep the pressure on this Kenyan side in trying to pull one back. But direct this time with a long ball forward again. The Kenyans equal to anything in the air here, owning the airspace above Port Elizabeth for the time being are the Kenyans. Well, and down here, Omecha. And may be winded somewhat. The Tofua man. And the ball here battling with Banda in the air. The landing, I beg your pardon, is a thudding impact onto the ground then. Landing chest first. The wrist may also be a bit of a problem, but looking as though he will be able to continue. Well, they may be outnumbered, but there's a Kenyan flag out there, so there are some Kenyan supporters out there. Good money is in them being outnumbered by those from Zambia. Kangoloma. Shimba, Zambia. Looking for Troy on the left side. Again, the Kenyans getting so many 10 behind the ball, then able to deal with the danger. They get the throw-in. Pressure on Nagalumba, then got there in the nick of time with the Kenyans looking to force a mistake defensively. Last time the Zambians didn't go all the way, as mentioned earlier, was back in 2021. Have won 3 of the last 4 Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup or COSAFA Cups of the Zambians. 23, 22, and 2019. They were runners-up in 2018 and 2017. So, barring that, yeah, in 2021 they really have been there or thereabouts. For the most part, they have been there in being impressive and being the last team standing. Quarterfinalists in 2016, 2015, winning it in 2013 and 2006. Runners-up between that time in 2007 as well as 2009. Used to winning are Zambian supporters when it comes to the Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup. Now, here's Otieno, scorer of the second. Wayward with a pass. Chinga. And in Angwanda. Okangwanda, I should say.
Foul, yes, foul. Coach.
Card it will be. For the Al Hilal man here, second Zambian player to go into the referee's book, joining Chinga. So changes being made here. Zambia that will make the substitution. Sadam Pili of Raiders will be making way. Siankombo coming on in his place. The man coming on, another of the Zesco United players here. In the total of Zesco United players on the field to 4. Long ball, they're already at 4 on the edge of the box. They entered the Kenyans, battling hard for the second ball. forcing the throw-in. Luma forced to go with safety first. Just about 10 minutes gone by here in the second half as the Zambians again look to go long. Special turn here and a drive forward on this near side. Nicely done by Chilimina. Looking for that byline is Banda having to work hard in holding off two defenders. In the end, the Zambians will settle for the throw in here inside the final third. In a hurry to get it moving is Chilimina. Offside. Frustration for the Zambians. Near side official. Stanislao Plata from Angola.
As you say, frustration, Sizwe. You know, when you think it's a gap and you want to attack it quick, and you realize, no, it's not a gap, it's a trap. And once you occupy that space, then you're offside. And you're trailing. That is even more frustrating.
They have been caught in offside positions or in offside positions on 3 occasions now. That looks a good ball. Flagger stay down here as they get 4 into the box in need of another good ball here as it goes towards the far post, and well, the save from Amondi. Best we've seen from Zambia here in the second half. Man down inside the box then. But they did well to get it in behind that defense and stretch them as they look to pull one back here, the Zambians.
That was a lovely move, and I'm just thinking, could it have been played back? Yes, it's a first option. Think of teammates, or maybe hook it with the same left foot, try to put it in the back of the net. And the keeper got injured in the interim because he was really stretched.
Doctor.
The man from Madari FC has for the most part been well protected. He needed to have his wits about him then. That's a lovely ball over the top. Good take on the move by the new man on the field in Siangombo. There's a coming together between the two players then, including the keeper. As Nwanda tried to beat him on the far post.
But this moment, Sizwe, is the one that I think Roy of the Rovers could have come into play. Just lie down, just relax a bit, and then whip it as you're going down. Could have been one of those crackers, but you have to have the intuition to do that.
Well, you speak Roy of the Rovers, you are making me feel old. Yeah, of course, a cartoon character from back in the day that was a football-based cartoon, if memory serves me right. So a young man back in the 80s reading that.
One of those that was scoring impossible goals. But we love the magazine for those reasons.
Yeah, spent a lot of time in the library reading up on those Roy of the Rovers thing as a 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old.
Nowadays, youngsters don't even know what you're talking about.
What, when I say library?
No.
Kidding.
Roy
of the Rovers, yeah, I get you. So we approach the hour, and stress for Chisi Bewe. Also coached Zambia at under 20 level. The referee here, Milizar, with one telling call early that led to the penalty. Kenya found the back of the net, haven't looked back really from then. Ahona again here. Zambia trying to rush the Kenyans by closing down from the front. Wow. Applying a good amount of pressure here on the Zambians, forcing them to go long. Down out to the far side. Still, the Kenyans through Omija remain resolute defensively in keeping the Zambians at bay. Failed to score in 20 matches. That's 28% of their matches in the COSAFA Cup. The Zambians have kept 33 clean sheets today. Not one of those days. They won't extend it to 34 just yet. Longest run without a win, 3 games thus far in the tournament. Their longest unbeaten run is 11 games from 97 to 99. Never lost more than 2 on the trot in the COSAFA Cup here. Committed to the cause. Both men involved in Ochiene as well as the Zambian captain as we reach the hour mark. Zambia again try to go long and trying to get in behind the defense again. It's Kenya. Let's ensure that Chilimena won't get there in time. Okido responsible defensively then. Plays for Kariobangi Sharks out in Kenya. Well, for the Zambians, the highest scoring match was a 4-2 scoreline against Senegal back in 2022. They may need something similar to that here if they are to turn this match around and walk away with 3 points. Lost 4-2 to Zimbabwe in their heaviest defeat. Kenya with a bit of space here on this near side. Just lost momentum for just a moment as Otieno picks up and finds a bit of space once again here on this near side. Now, was he held back on that occasion? Otieno remaining strong here in his battle against Chinga. Zambian decision. Interesting when you look at these two sides and the way things have fared for them in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Impressive. They really have hardly put a foot wrong defensively then. Zambia, the power dynamos, man, unable to get the better of the defender. In fact, committed the foul out on that far side.
I like the referee Lumponjani, very decisive. In all the decisions he made, you can't fault him at all, including the penalty, because often you would think no one gives it this early, but he gave it because it was not even a giving, it was deserving.
Was a bit of a debate during half-time with one of our colleagues as to whether the tag of the shirt was inside or just on the line of that box in giving away the penalty. Kenya now pushing forward. Well, they're doing a good job of moving it from left to right, holding onto the ball and probing the Kenyans.
I wonder if you've noticed that when you were talking about the inside and the outside, I chose to stay outside.